Well, we have finally arrived. If you're new here, you may be asking, arrived at what? And that's a fair question. For those of you that have been following along, you know where we are. We are at steps 31, 32, and 33 from Rob Connolly's book, How to Make a Fantasy Sandbox, and today we cross that finish line. Welcome, Dice Rollers. I'm Paul. I'll be your DM for a little while, and today I'll be sharing the last few steps that will flesh out the setting I've created called the World of Skyreach, a hex crawl of horror. And if you're brand new here, thank you for stopping by. If you enjoy world building, DM tips, and adventure creation with an old school slant, then click subscribe and you'll get exactly that on a monthly basis. Now let's head over to the world of Skyreach and see who's coming to join the party. All right, so here we have arrived at the land of Skyreach. There's a little area there called Guardian Grove, the land of the gods, which is what we'll be fleshing out today. So let me show you what I have done here. These are the 3 steps we're going to cover today. They are write a description for regional organizations. Number 32, make a rumor chart with 10 to 20 items that lead players into encounters. And number 33, identify major regions and create random encounters for each. So let's go ahead and start with regional organizations. So I've come up with a few here that I think I'm going to like running. I had in mind, and this is I know a weird thing, but I thought of druids and steampunk for some reason. I just said druids who finally have had enough. They're not just, magic is just not enough here. Nature magic is just not enough. We've got to embrace technology. And so I came up with the Verdant Cog, which is the Druidic Council of Guardian Grove. No longer just a druidic circle, the Verdant Cog is a faction of techno-druids who combine the power of nature with intricate clockwork mechanisms, alchemical processes, and arcane machinery. They are still deeply connected to Guardian Grove, but they believe that technology, when used in harmony with nature, can be a powerful tool for its defense. They are encamped 20 miles outside of Guardian Grove at what has been dubbed the Scar, where the green plains meet the creeping blight. And this is something I came up with afterwards. I said, well, if I'm going to create this group, what's their job? What are they supposed to be doing? And that's when I came up with the idea of the Scar. And as just this, I'll show you here on the map of the land of the gods right here, which is available, by the way, over in my store. I put out a monthly zine, and the zine that you can find this in is called The Land of the Gods, and it has like 4 or 5 different maps. They don't have the Scar on them. I'm going to add this one to the mix here, but there you go. You got the Scar right here, and is basically where the blight and the green pastures meet, and there is the Verdant Cog. The Verdant Cog is there as a defense line, and they are fighting with magic, fire. They're using all the tools at their availability to be able to stand against this blight that has come about because of the hexing. This whole thing is happening because the witches of the Blackened Earth cast a hex, and it had ramifications worldwide, Skyreach worldwide ramifications. And part of that was that now blight has broken out, and that there's some things running around there. They're trying to creep out. They're trying to get into the land of other places, and now they have this Scar that's moving forward. And that's what the Druidic army, if you will, the Druidic Council, the Verdant Cog, they stay there and they hold the line. They are in constant battle to keep the blight at bay. In fact, that's their motto: fight the blight. The leader of that is Althea Prescott. Half-elf and natural leader, broke from her traditional kin to combine technology and magic to, as their recruiting motto says, fight the blight. With machine, magic, and fire, her and her bold army of druids stand guard at the Scar, keeping vigilant watch against blighted plants, creatures, and animals hideously transformed by the hexing. Her weapon of choice is called the Blight Butcher, a sleek, compact crossbow crafted from Sylvanheart wood and polished brass, capable of firing razor-sharp gears made of sky iron. And sky iron is a metal. It's actually made of meteorite found in the Aether Mountains. And so she's got this really cool weapon. I'm going to draw it out one of these days. And it basically shoots these discs, these really sharp gears that can slice through plants, blight, and so forth, all those things. But I'm also going to put a little flame that they can light at the end of the barrel, because that way, if they light it and they pour oil on the gears, they will shoot out with flame, and now they become flaming gears. So I like it. It's a good idea, I think. Let's move to the second organization, the Order of the Right Mind. A secretive order of scions, mages, and monks dedicated to preserving sanity and combating Cinder's influence. Cinder is the demigod of madness. Once a bastion of sanity, now she is sadly, devolved into just madness, and it causes madness. And the fact that I'm using scions, I had this idea probably a couple of nights ago and just found out today they're now releasing a scion back into the D&D world. They put out a new Unearthed Arcana over on Dungeons & Dragons channel. I'll put a link down below if you're interested in that, which now gives me some ideas. Now I can read this and maybe incorporate some things. But this is a system agnostic. You can put whatever version you want. But I like psionics. I just think psionics are cool. I think they have a place. I like them a little grittier. But that's my taste. You do what you'd like to do in your world. But I like my psionics a little bit grittier, less like magic, and more risk-reward, where if you use it, okay, there might be some damage there in the old noggin. All right, let's continue. They operate in the shadows, studying the nature of madness, developing techniques to resist psychic attacks, and hunting down Cinder's cultists. They understand that fighting Cinder requires a subtle approach. A direct confrontation can lead to mental harm for both members of the Order and Cinder's followers. Now we got to put Cinder's followers. I always like to correct my typos as I go along here. Cinder's followers. They believe in the importance of mental discipline, the fragility of the mind, and they need to understand and control chaos rather than simply destroy it. Through psionics, the Order can treat those under Cinder's influence who wish to be free. Those who remain, only pain awaits them. And then we have the leader of this organization. This is Lyra Vane. Lyra was one of the many who were hex-touched after the burst of witchcraft engulfed Guardian Grove. Her mind became both a weapon of war and a source of healing. Lyra witnessed the devastating effects of Cinder's influence firsthand, losing loved ones to the creeping madness. With the help of the Wellspring Academy, she became a warrior of immense mental discipline and became adept to understanding the intricate pathways of the mind. She connected with many like herself, and with the blessing of the Academy, formed the Order of the Right Mind and dedicated themselves to helping those inflicted with Cinder's madness. But should you see Lyra's hair begin to blow with no evidence of a breeze, you may want to move out of her way. And something that informed this, I remember the movie The Kingsman. I think that's where there was this drug, this madness that came from cell phones, I think it was, that caused this madness where people, when they heard the noise or whatever it was, just broke into madness and just started fighting and destroying things and killing and all these things. I thought, well, I think I like that idea of this randomness, this idea that things could go horribly wrong with Cinder's followers at any given moment, that she gives the signal and now there is absolute chaos. And so that's what Lyra Vane and her organization tries to do. They try to combat Cinder and defuse the situations if they can, or do battle with those of Cinder's group that simply will not surrender. Moving on to the Black Watch, or they're called the Death Hunters, a grim and determined order of warriors, clerics, and scholars dedicated to containing and destroying Marrow's undead legions. And for those that are brand new, there are these demigods that have had a rebellion against the Pantheon. Marrow is one of those demigods that rebelled, as well as Cinder did. And General Marrow here uses the undead to gain ground, to capture, to take back land, and so forth for himself. They are experts in undead lore, necromancy's weaknesses, and the arts of both life and death. They often operate from fortified strongholds or hidden enclaves near areas plagued by Marrow's forces. The sanctity of life, the unnaturalness of undeath, and the importance of remembering the dead and ensuring they find rest is what they stand for. Many of the Watch have lost family to the undead, and they will stop at nothing to rid the land of this plague. And leading this organization is Commander Thane Grimfang. And I didn't think about that till now, but if General Marrow is there, and then you have this Commander Thane Grimfang. I'm wondering, is it possible they knew each other? Is it possible that Commander Thane has some history with Marrow, or maybe understands at least the history of when General Marrow was actually good, used to be the good guy? Not so much now. Commander Thane Grimfang is the unyielding, battle-hardened leader of the Black Watch. His very presence a bulwark against the despair in the face of relentless undeath. His commands are sharp and decisive, born from years of grim experience on the front lines, and he possesses an uncanny tactical mind for combating Marrow's endless legions. Thane is a beacon of defiance in the darkest hours, driven by the memory of countless innocents lost to the deathless general's hordes. A deep, jagged scar runs from his temple to his jaw, a memento from a ghoul's claw that serves as a constant reminder of his oath. His weapon of choice is a soul cleaver, a massive two-handed greatsword forged from the bones of his enemies, enchanted to burn with cold, purifying light that sears the unnatural essence of the undead. So basically, it's a +2, maybe +3. I haven't figured that part out yet, but +2 probably versus undead. And on to the next organization, the Shadow Syndicate. The Shadow Syndicate, true to its nature, possesses no single visible leader. Its power flows from a shadowy, decentralized collective known only as the Silent Directorate. This leadership is comprised of the most cunning and influential regional heads, masterminds who rarely meet in person, instead communicating through encrypted messages, trusted proxies, and a complex web of information exchange. And when I was thinking about this and creating this organization, I was thinking, what if you put the IMF, Impossible Mission Force, and Spectre, and put them together somehow to create this Shadow Syndicate, which wants to keep the world in balance, but also wants to profit from that somehow. Decisions within the Directorate are not dictated by a single voice, but emerge through a constant, intricate negotiation of self-interest, strategic advantage, and the collective adherence to the Syndicate's core philosophy of maintaining a profitable balance of power. Decisions are made and disagreements are resolved, not through open conflict, but through a subtle economic leverage, the strategic release of compromising information, a protest, or even a price hike on eggs. Sorry if that sounds a little too real, but that's just what I thought of. That's how they communicate with these various types of activities as to what their next move is going to be. And since they don't have a leader, we don't have a leader. So I don't have a leader to tell you about as of yet, or any leaders within there that we even know about. And then we're going to have several Thieves Guild. And this is a low-level Thieves Guild. I've not even put it in a location yet. But the leader is Merrick Dregthorpe. And the Black Tallow Boys are your basic street-level thieves focused on protection rackets and petty extortion that control specific grimy districts, squeezing small shopkeepers and artisans for protection against accidents. They're not subtle, relying on intimidation and visible presence. They are the street-level enforcers, loud and brutal rather than stealthy. Their operations are local and visible. And so, yeah, they're regional in the sense that they're going to maybe pop up. There'll be some other, they're looking to branch out. So they'll be regional in a sense. There'll be several different thieves guilds that'll pop up in various places, some trying to start, some that have been established for a while. So we'll get there eventually where these thieves guilds will be established. Players can join them, work with them. Maybe the Thieves Guild doesn't like the Syndicate. Maybe they're at war with the Syndicate because they want to do what they want to do, not what they are told to do, right? That sounds like a good Thieves Guild right there. So maybe it's Thieves Guilds versus the Shadow Syndicate, which would make for some interesting gameplay. All right, let's go ahead and move on to step 2, which is the regional rumors that will lead to encounters and adventures and so forth. So here we have the Black Watch. Commander Grimfang is desperate for a rare arcane component hidden in a forgotten crypt that can permanently sever a powerful undead's connection to Morrow. The Verdant Cog, Althea's Prescott's latest biomechanical defense system for Guardian Grove, is missing a crucial unique crystal that only grows in a highly volatile blighted area. Then you have the Shadow Syndicate. The Silent Directorate is subtly manipulating the upcoming trade negotiations between Skyreach and Riverhaven. And I believe that has a lot to do with, I think that's their distillery is what's going to happen there, where to ensure a specific merchant family who owes them heavily gains a monopoly on a key resource. That will be interesting. And then there's the Order of the Right Mind. Master Lyra Vane has discovered a new, highly contagious form of Cinder's madness that spreads through dreams, and she needs a powerful dreamer or scion to enter the dreamscape and sever its source. I mean, really, come on. Who doesn't want to dream in a dream? Who doesn't want an Inception adventure? I mean, come on, really. Let's go. Let's get in the dream there. What could happen, right? What could happen? All right, let's go ahead and move on then to encounters around Guardian Grove, and I've marked the hexes there, 1407, 1408. And there's more. I have, I think, 10 or 12 encounters, and I'll just give you a few here. There's a rare monster encounter, a patch of ground where reality seems to waver and faint, unsettling whispers can be heard. There's a hint of madness, dimensional instability. That could be coming from anywhere. Then you have a common wildlife encounter, large aggressive boar or bear. I would say a blight boar or a blight bear, because if it's coming out of the grove, it's coming out of there. Anything that was in the grove when the hexing hit got blighted. So there's all kinds of animals and so forth that now have incredible new abilities, scary abilities, deadly, dangerous abilities that will terrify your players. Then you have a common NPC, a lone, weary traveler seeking passage through the grove. What is he there for? Why is he there? What does he need passage for? There's a common monster, a pack of blighted wolves, their fur matted with strange growths. Then you have another common NPC, the verdant cog, 1d6 cog scouts, silently observing the forest with a whirring mechanical bird. And that's the end of the steps, 31, 32, and 33 of how to make a fantasy sandbox. I think it deserves a DJ horn. There we go. A little DJ horn for completing the task. And let me show you here. If you're interested, my zine comes out every month. Issue number 11 is out right now, and it's called The Village of Skyreach. And I went through that in the last video. So if you would like a system agnostic setting to put your players in, you can put them in the Village of Skyreach, which is in the land of the gods, which is in the world of Skyreach. And you can see there you have the founding of Skyreach Village, 7 locations of interest, 8 major Skyreach NPCs, 8 minor NPCs, adventure hooks, friend-foe table for what is called the Veil, and you get a map of Skyreach as well. You can get this as a single issue, or you can buy the Hexcrawl bundle. There's 9 issues in the bundle, but you're always going to get one free, so it's always going to be $2 cheaper, and I will put the links down below if you're interested in those. And listen, if you've enjoyed what you've seen here today, you say, Paul, I'd like to support your stuff. Well, become a member of the channel here. Only 99 cents. You get loyalty badges. You get an emoji. You get the Crit Happens zine. That's right. I only charge $2 for my zine anyway, regardless of the page count. So you can get the Crit Happens zine every month for 99 cents. So you're basically getting a 50% off discount. And of course, you get early access to videos and all that kind of good stuff. And listen, if you like today's video and you want more videos like that, I'm going to put a playlist right over here. You can check out the Hexcrawl Horror Series. You can also check out the 33 steps that I've gone through to build out this entire world of Skyreach. And of course, I will put a link down below to Rob's book, How to Make a Fantasy Sandbox, if you'd like to do this for yourself. And be sure to click the thumbs up button. That tells me you like the video and you want more of them. And I will catch you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.